So the Supreme Court in Bhagwan Swarup versus State of Maharashtra has reaffirmed the proposition that the doctrine of agency is applicable in the matter of recording of evidence under Section 10 of the Evidence Act. Now, the court found that here there was conspiracy. The conspiracy which was hatched was disclosed, fictitious loans were taken, the amounts were transferred in bogus entities. They're all committed offenses under the provisions of Section 409 of the Indian Penal Code, read with Section 120B. Now, in paragraph number, if you see that here, paragraph number 10 के अंदर the Supreme Court gives a narration of the role of Sardul Singh Kaveshwar, who had filed earlier appeal, and the Supreme Court, in the case reported in 1958 Supreme Court, had dealt with the conspiracy of the same people in Jupiter Insurance Company. So they were told you there was there's a Jupiter conspiracy, there is an Empire conspiracy, two conspiracies. So one of the another contention which was raised by the appellant, Bhagwan Swarup, in the matter was that here, that he has protection under Article 20 subclause 2 of the Constitution. You know that here, already Sardul Singh and all of them have been convicted in the earlier case of Jupiter conspiracy, and they cannot be again trial on conviction of the same people in another transaction relating to the same subject matter. So that issue has been dealt, and they also wanted to take up the matter before the 5-bench judges of the Supreme Court, pointing out that here this is a matter touching their fundamental right, constitutional validity, and it's a matter of public importance of far-reaching consequences. You know that under Article 145 subclause 3, as per the Supreme Court rules, the Supreme Court sends the matter to 5-bench only in those cases where a reference is made by the President of India under Article 143 for the opinion of the Supreme Court, number one, or whenever a Constitution of India provisions are to be discussed in public interest, then the 5-bench minimum is appointed, that under Article 145 subclause 3, that contention in the present matter was repelled. The Supreme Court held that here, just because you were convicted in Jupiter, that is paragraph number 12, check kare yahan pe, Jupiter conspiracy, where the conviction took place, that in fact was ended. वो end होने के बाद the conspiracy in Empire took place. After the termination of the earlier conspiracy, the second conspiracy started here. The Supreme Court said that here, Article 20 subclause 2, which is on the line of doctrine of double jeopardy or res judicata, what we say under Section 11 of the Code of Civil Procedure, or you have learned under the first year doctrine of ex post facto laws, and all this, they are not applicable. Because these are clear-cut demarcation. The first conspiracy was a Jupiter conspiracy, which commenced and the people were prosecuted, and the conspiracy ended. The moment the accused persons were arrested, conspiracy ends. On all subsequent statements recorded are not admissible. They become a statement under Section 162, which requires corroboration. Then the second conspiracy with regard to the Empire conspiracy commenced here after the conclusion of the conspiracy in Jupiter case. So hence Article 20 subclause 2 will not apply. That discussion you will find in paragraph number 12. Okay. So that is some substance of the judgment here. I will take you to the earlier judgment of the Supreme Court in the first conspiracy case, that you may see that EIR 1957, तो आप खोल लीजिए आशीष. EIR 1957 Supreme Court, page number 700 and page number 747. Judgment of
What is the name
Jagannatha.
of the case, sir?
The name of the case is here Sardul Singh versus State of Bombay.
Okay.
SARDUL. Sardul Singh versus State of Bombay. Could you lay a hand? This is a judgment delivered on 23rd May 1957. Okay. Judges are Justice Jagannath Das Sinha and Justice Gajendra Gatkar. Now, this is the, even Sardul Singh was a conspirator in the earlier case in Bhagwan Swarup's case. Are you been able to lay hand in the judgment?
It's open, sir.
Open.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So I will just give you what is a relevant matter with regard to section 10 that is mentioned in paragraph number, I will just paragraph number 36, 38. Even the head note देखेंगे आप 38 check 36 में 8 minute. I'll just come to paragraph number 36. Paragraph number 36. The Supreme Court lays down the ratio decidendi as regard the invocation of section 10 and how evidence is led in the matter. 36 कहाँ मिला 33. You find it, the limits of admissibility of evidence in conspiracy case under section 10 Evidence Act. मिला आपको? Paragraph number 36 I got in AIR. Just see in your...
Yes, sir. मिल गया.
Yeah. The limits of admissibility of evidence in conspiracy case under section Evidence Act have been authoritatively laid down by the Privy Council in Mirza Akbar versus King Emperor 67, Indian Appeals 336 and AIR 1940. Now, in that case, the Lordship of the Privy Council held that section 10 of the Evidence Act must be construed in accordance with the principle that the thing done, written or spoken, was something done in carrying out the conspiracy and was receivable as step in proof of the conspiracy. They notice the evidence receivable under section 10 Evidence Act. Anything said, done, written by one of such person, conspiracy, must be in reference to the common intention. But their Lordship held that in the context, notwithstanding the amplitude of the above phrase, it would therefore not capable of being widely construed, having regard to the well-known principle above enunciated. It would seem to follow that where and this case in charge specifies the period of conspiracy, evidence of acts of conspirator outside the period is not receivable in evidence. Indeed, this position is fairly conceded by Mr. Khandalawala for the prosecution, but his contention that the evidence objected to which the act and evidence in the year 1950 would be relevant under the other section, evidence at section 6, 8, 9, 11 and 14. That would no doubt be so, but it has to be remembered that some of these sections are widely worded and must receive somewhat limited construction, as pointed out by West J in his judgment referred to Reg versus Prabhudas, where considering the scope of section 11 of the Evidence Act. Now, there being no doubt that one of the matter relevant in issue in case where the loan of so and so taken. So here they laid down the broader principle under section 10, conspiracy to commit a crime, breach of trust, evidence relating to act outside the period of conspiracy, how it is acceptable. So this was the first case of the same people who were convicted in the offense relating to misappropriation, breach of trust in the cheating case, even the misappropriation case, I would rather say, section 409 case, that is a Jupiter conspiracy case. So Jupiter conspiracy case is more understood when you read the judgment of Bhagwan Sarup's case, where the ratio broadly laid down. More or less, the Supreme Court in this judgment have not earlier agreed to the Privy Council's interpretation that section 10 should be construed in a little narrowly with regard to. Now, here they have said that here it must
Sir,
be given.
Sir, that means section 10 has some limitation with respect to time or a period,
Yes, time.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, but it can be it can be admissible under other sections of Indian Evidence Act, such as res geste.
Yes,
And
definitely. Only
yes,
for the purpose of a conspiracy, only statements recorded till the when the conspiracy ended, uske baad you cannot use it. But
yes.
for the purpose of proving conduct, motive, preparation under section 9, under section 11, under section 157, you can use it. समझे ना आप?
Okay,
There is
okay,
no there is no bar. Now we are
okay,
only confining to section 10, which
okay,
says
okay.
that here the pre-stage of the arrest it can be used. Post-stage of the arrest, conspiracy ends. The moment
Right,
the
sir.
police,
Understood.
why? Because the moment the police officer is arrested, then the statement come under 162, which will be clear to you from the last judgment which I am citing you of the Supreme Court, that is take down EIR, that is शुक्ला का नहीं है, इसी शुक्ला का भी है सेंटर. 1 minute. It's a beautiful judgment of 1 minute. 1 minute. Central Bureau of CBI versus, sorry, State of Gujarat versus
Mohammad Atiq.
Mohammad Atiq. I'm just laying my book. Give me 1 minute.
What is the name of the case?
State of Gujarat versus Mohammad Atiq. It's open.
Yeah, I'm sorry. State of Gujarat versus Mohammad Atiq. It's a judgment which arose, that is reported in EIR 1998 Supreme Court, page number 1686. It's a beautiful judgment after taking into consideration the various judgments of the earlier bench of the Supreme Court. This arose from the Justice Mukherjee and Justice K.T. Thomas. Judgment dated dated है ना, आपके पास मेंशन किया गया जजेस?
It's 1998, sir.
3/4/1998. 3rd April 98.
3rd April 1998. So this arose from the Gujarat High Court under the effect of the statement, confession statement recorded under the Terrorist Disruptive Activities Act, TADA Act, under section 15, you know that here. And now the fact which are necessary here that here, when you see the paragraph number, starting from here, this is a case with regard to a bomb blast, planting a bomb blast in the state of Gujarat, where several persons had hatched conspiracy, different conspirators. There were Maninagar police station, FIR was lodged. One of the conspirator was Abdul Latif Abdul Wahab Sheikh, who died subsequently in the police custody. Then another statement that Kalalpur versus Kananji police station in Gujarat, various stations. These statements were recorded by the superintendent of police under section 15 of the TADA. Because for the provisions of the TADA Act, which is a Preventive Detention Act under Article 22 of the Constitution of India. You are aware of it here. So the provisions of Evidence Act, CRPC, are strictly not applicable. Please note that here. Strictly not applicable. Arrested person can be detained for 3 months, 6 months, like this. The bail is a almost impossible thing here. Now here in this matter, the conspirators' statements which were recorded was sought to be used by the public prosecutor, who made the application to the court that I would like to make the statement, use the statement of one of the conspirator with regard to confession of the crime against the other person, which is permissible under section 30 of the Evidence Act. You know that 30 permits here when there's a joint trial, confession can be used against each other of the different areas. Now the trial judge, that is in paragraph number 3 that here, the trial court, it appears, rejected the application holding that here confession statement of one accused in respect of one crime in one police station cannot be used in respect of another crime. Then the question therefore was whether the prosecution be permitted to introduce and prove the confessional statement of the accused alleged to have been made during the investigation of another offense committed in different dates also. So paragraph number 4 के अंदर special judge का देखो, then during the trial that Abdul Latif, whose statement was sought to be recorded, he died. When he died, then paragraph number 25 says here, state that here, on account of ban contained under section 25, you cannot use the statement of confession unless it is a TADA, where by virtue of section 15, it is permissible. In cases of TADA, you can do that. There is no bar. So the special judge of the Gujarat High Court, Gujarat Session Judge, was in error in not invoking section 15 of the TADA Act, which clearly permits the statement to be used along with section 30. That is apart. Then the reference is made at paragraph number 8 to the state of Rajasthan versus Bhoop Singh's case, where a statement under section 27 of the Evidence Act, section 27 of the Evidence Act, permits discovery statement. Section 24, 25 of the Evidence Act tells you that a confession made to a police officer is not binding. Whereas section 27 tells you that so much part of the confession can be used as a result of these confession, some discovery takes place. Like accused tells you, yes, I committed the crime. That is not admissible. After committing the crime with a chopper, I hidden the chopper and someplace. So that recovery is admissible under section 27. So in the state of Rajasthan versus Bhoop Singh case, the Supreme Court said that here, the statement used under 27 is 27 can be used in cases of tada, rightly so. Then the next point which was argued here before the Supreme Court, especially is paragraph number 10, when the maker of the confession, he dies during the trial, the Supreme Court says that here, see, but the moment the maker of the confession dies before the conclusion of the trial, the provision sinks into dust because it would be impossible to try the two persons. So, in a conspiracy, there are more than 2 persons. In order to use the conspiracy statement, one against the other, Section 30 is used. Section 30 of the Evidence Act says that here there must be a joint trial. The CRPC tells you when joint trial can take place. 218, 19, 20 we पढ़ चुके हैं हमने. So when there has to be a joint trial. If there is no joint, if one of the accused person dies, so by no stretch of imagination you can hold a joint trial. So
that means after the death of one conspirator, the charge against the other conspirator drops.
No, it cannot be dropped totally. The best part of it that here, the conspiracy theory will stop.
Okay, then only 120B will be dropped.
120 will be kept in abeyance, I'll tell you. There must be other offenses like waging a war against a country, the cheating, misappropriation, rights, unlawful assembly. Was it telling years के It is because 120B is not invoked in isolation. It is always coupled with many other sections. So here the validity of the section, the validity of the statements under Section 10, when one of the co-accused dies, whose statement in conspiracy was recorded under Section 10 of the Evidence Act. So with a death, the trial abates. When a person is dead, you cannot hold a joint trial. So when there is no joint trial, so there is no question here. That is what the section says. But for the other purposes, now see that here. Then.
So one more question I have regarding Section 27 of Evidence Act. The Act says that Section 27, the confession made by the accused under to the police is not admissible because it hits by the Section 27. But the subsequent recovery or subsequent corroboration is admissible, right?
Yes.
But under TADA, it is my question is under TADA, it is the confession itself is permissible or not?
Confession is permissible. Section 15.
Okay, that means the accused says the crime is committed by me.
Yes.
That means under TADA, it is presumed that that the crime is committed by that person.
Yes, it is binding. It is not only binding upon him and also the co-accused, provided he goes to the box in the court and gives evidence under Section 13. I also planted the bomb and my friend Mr. Atiq also gave me, he brought the bomb along. Samjhe na? So we both together. Then only because the statement must implicate him first and also implicate the other. दोनों को implicate करना पड़ेगा. When one of them dies, the trial doesn't take place. There is no joint trial. समझे ना आप? Unless there is a joint trial under Section 30 of the Evidence Act, confession cannot be recorded jointly. So that is the meaning here. Dead person cannot. Now, second aspect which was tried here, paragraph number 14, check karo aap.
Sir, quick question. So what happens if there are more than 2 conspirators and one dies? Does 120 still go into abeyance or no?
So as against him, as against the person dies, there is abatement. The case doesn't go. And if the statement, suppose if he dies prior to trial, his statement cannot be used against the other. If he dies after recording of the evidence, his statement can be used under Section 10. समझे ना आप? Yeah, because he cannot be tried alone. But if there are three accused person, A, B, C, and D, if A dies, B and C says we were all together, then Section 10 can be invoked. आप समझे ना आप?
Thank you, sir.
There are 3 people, and ultimately 3 people are confessing here in the matter. rightly or wrongly. Then, and paragraph number 4 में check करें आप, 14 में, sorry, there is a reference to the judgment of Patna High Court in Bansilal's case. The judgment of Bhagwan Sarup's case, which we right now read it, said that because in paragraph number 13, the Supreme Court is relying upon the full bench of Patna High Court's judgment, which is in the case of Chandra Narang versus Emperor, where the ratio laid down was the object of this section, that is section 10, is merely to ensure that one person shall not be made responsible for the acts and deeds of another until some bond in the nature of agency has been established between them, and the act, words, writing of another, which is proposed to attribute vicariously to person charged, must be in furtherance of the design, and after fresh design was entertained. So that was the view of the full bench. Then the Supreme Court, they took a little narrow view of the matter in paragraph number 13, 7 days ago. Then in paragraph number 14, the Bhagwan Sarup Lal case, which the empire's conspiracy is discussed here. But a 3-bench judge of this court in Bhagwan Sarup versus State of Maharashtra said that the expression in reference to the common intention is wider than the word in furtherance of the common intention, and is very comprehensive, appears to have been designedly used to give a wider scope than the furtherance of the given beyond the conspiracy. It is therefore, it is well settled, section 10 of the Evidence Act, found on the principles of the law of agency, rendering the statement of conspiracy binding on one another. So that is again repeated, that is again reaffirmed whatever principle laid down by the Privy Council earlier in Mirza Akbar's case versus Emperor, King Emperor's case. That reference you will find in paragraph number 15. Then they have also discussed the case of Raghunath versus Emperor, inauguration. Then in paragraph number 16, the second judgment which we refer to, the conspiracy case of Bombay, Sardul Singh's Kaveshwar versus State of Bombay, of judgment of Justice Gajendra Gatkar, is also referred to AIR 1957, who laid down the formula following the Aziz Mirza's case, that is the Mirza Akbar's case, that the provisions of section 10 of the Evidence Act are based on the analogy of the concept of doctrine of agency under the Indian Contract Act. Then lastly they say, the principle underlying the reception of evidence under 10 of the Evidence Act, the Statement Act writing so and so of the accused theory of agency, the rule under section 10 of Evidence Act confined principles of agency in criminal matters to act of corporator within the period during which it can be said the acts were reference to their common intention, that is to say things done or written, conspiracy was on the foot and carrying on the act. It would seem to follow that the charge specified of the period of the conspiracy, evidence of the act of conspirators outside the period is not receivable in evidence. So it is only so long as the conspiracy subsists, you can receive the evidence. With the abrogation or cancellation or termination of the conspiracy, and you cannot. So ultimately, in this here, the Supreme Court, relying upon the provisions of section 15 of the Tada Act, yes, allowed the application of the public prosecutor that the statements made by the other co-accused, there were more than 3-4 accused, can be used in trial under section 30, except the statements of the accused who died cannot be used. Though section 32 subclause 3 of the Evidence Act, just see that section 30 of the Evidence Act permit the statement of a dying person. That was not approved by the Supreme Court. When you see,
but sir, I'm sorry to interrupt, but ideally speaking, sir, the statements of a dying person are generally considered truthful, right?
Like
yes,
Sir, it can be admissible under section 32, no? Because in this
32.
case only, the learned counsel submitted that what becomes relevant under section 32 subclause 3 of the Evidence Act would become relevant under section 10.
32 is admissible provided he was being tried separately.
Oh,
When he's being tried jointly along with the co-accused, the statement are not binding.
okay.
So
Clear.
section 32 cannot be read in isolation. It must be given a harmonious interpretation along with section 30 of the Evidence Act and the doctrine of agency as contained in the Indian Contract Act. Agency means, so the act of the agent, how is binding. So that you rightly said it under section 32(3) check cases in which statement of relevant, that is, or against the interest of a maker. Now here the person dies. When the statement is against the pecuniary proprietary interest of a person making it, or when it true, it would expose him or would have been exposed him to a criminal prosecution to a suit. So this statement can be used. Suppose in the will, my grandfather, your grandfather uses, I had taken a loan from him, I not repaid. That is binding. Though you are liable to pay that amount. That is a statement of a person against the interest, isn't it? If a person says in the will, I was a great man, I was a great golfer, not admissible. It's a statement must be against him, against his interest. That is only the admissible here in such cases. Now here in the statement here, the person in conspiracy, he is implicating himself and also implicating the other co-accused. But unfortunately, he dies before the conducting of the trial. So the trial should take place jointly under section 30 of the Evidence Act. The confession can only be valid provided that the joint trial, a person implicating himself and implicating others. So when that doesn't happen, section 30 subclause 3 cannot be invoked. So that point
Clear.
Okay.
Yes, sir, clear.
This is now section 10 is clear now. Before I take section 11, anybody wants to ask any question? We can also make some.
Sir, I want to ask a question regarding the will.
Yes, Pujiye.
Okay. Can a person make a will that which is not pertaining to his property, such as his last rites to be done by certain person, or the certain person should be restricted from doing last rites like that?
He can make it. That's a declaration of his intention. There's nothing. Something is not unlawful, he can always make it. Something which is not unlawful, he can always make it. There is no bar.
Okay.
A person can easily mention what should be done, what should not be done. Now, one of the cases which I had given you is the Central Bureau of Investigation versus VC Shukla. Nikalo, AIR 1998, Supreme Court, page number 1406. How the Supreme Court said that here. This is all famous Hawala transaction where all politicians were involved. You know that, no? Mr. Advani was involved, VC Shukla, the parliamentarian,
the Jain Diaries.
Jain Diaries. Famous cases. And they were, because the trial court held that year, whatever diaries mention, diaries are maintained under section 34 of the Evidence Act. Evidence can be taken. 34 खोल लीजिए आप, section 34. Entries in the books of account, including maintained in the electronic form when relevant. So the Jain Saab, in the famous case of the VC Shukla's case, the parliamentarian Mr. Jain had maintained beautiful diary that I had given Mr. Advani 25 lakh, I had given him another 25 lakh, so and so politician I had given 1 crore, 2 crore, ये सब लिखे डायरी के अंदर. But the trial court, of course, framed charges, wanted to proceed against them, holding that these are statements of the co-accused which are admissible, can be used under section 120B for the purpose of prosecuting public servant under the provisions of Money Laundering Act and various acts. So unfortunately, 120B we also invoke here. Prevention of Corruption Act was also invoked here.
Please
Article.
explain how everybody got scot-free, and then what is the purpose of
It
having
is
the
very
diary?
unfortunate, no?
It's very
Actually,
unfortunate.
No, no,
because
I want sir to explain
Yes,
legally how everybody got away.
yes. Sometime because if rich politicians are very lucky, sometimes the judges are very indulgent towards them, a very soft corner. It is
this
very,
is this is only for CBI.
it is fact. There are many cases, there are many judges are very severe. There are many of them are very bold and they can take the bulls by the horn. But some of them are very soft towards them. They do not want to disturb the equilibrium of the parliament and in the interest of the country. So that is a different perception altogether. It's of course a very, very unfortunate case where Justice M.K. Mukherjee, our senior judge who rendered the judgment, wrote this year, sitting along with Justice Kurdukar and Justice Thomas, who wrote that he agreed with the contention of the V.C. Shukla, who was represented by a very eminent lawyer, Mr. Kapil Sibal, that the entries made under Section 34 cannot be invoked for the purpose of conspiracy under Section 10. They are not regularly maintained in the course of the business. That is
So he actually said that.
yeah, that is recorded. You read
Must have.
that is what the Supreme Court recorded.
He needed books of accounts.
Evidently,
Legally maintained books of accounts for illegal things.
Proof of existence of conspiracy entries in see that here. Entries in the books of account of accused. Evidence of prosecution evidence only indicate that one of the accused in question was known to each other. Accused person had gone to the resident and on formal occasion, witness not speaking even a word about the accused in question, held Section 10 cannot be pressed into service. That is what the Supreme Court said. Then Section 120B, prosecution not able to prove. So when it comes to politician, unfortunately, a different yardstick is applied. It's very unfortunate, according to me. The Supreme Court should be very strict and send the politician. Like as was done in the case of Maharashtra, rightly so. The High Court has taken cognizance of the allegation and interrogating. And that should be done. Unfortunately, it's not done. We do not want to cast aspersion against judiciary or parliamentarian. And it was lucky that they were represented by a very eminent lawyer and who succeeded in the showing that here this doesn't amount to conspiracy. But when you read the entire judgment, I think I am not able to persuade to believe myself that there was no conspiracy. I have a different opinion in this regard.
Same here, sir.
So let it be, no problem. We do not want to comment, but we have to respect the judgment of the Supreme Court, which is binding under Article 141 of the Constitution.
But this is the wrong precedent, no, sir.
ऐसे precedent बहुत सारे हैं, because judges come under pressure too, because that is how you had a emergency.
This matter wasn't appealed.
See, that is how you had emergency. Shivkant Shukla versus ADM Jabalpur's case. Of course, both the judges, Justice Senior Chandrachud as well as Justice Bhagwati, publicly apologized for the judgment. They were under pressure from the government, from the Prime Minister. Otherwise, they did not want to face the music, whatever reason. There were apprehension. That is how it is, very unfortunate. Anybody wants to ask any question? These things do happen in a democracy. We have to accept it.
So this was not appealed, sir.
What appeal? Supreme Court is the last appeal. You could have filed a curative petition. You can file it if you want. As a public spirited citizen, file it. No problem. You have a right to file a curative petition. Okay?
Curative petition.
Curative petition.
So nobody filed it.
Sir,
nobody filed
sir,
it.
Can such precedents be overturned subsequently?
You require a bigger bench, a larger bench for that purpose. He has a 3-bench judges.
No, but this can be.
You require a 5-bench judges. 5-bench now.
Okay.
There are many. See, even the Supreme Court has passed many conflicting judgments. आपको बताया, even in the matter of recording secondary evidence, there were half a dozen judgments I have shown you how they were conflicting, isn't it? So they are also human beings. They can make mistake and they rectified later on, and they know what's happening. They had to. Judgments are passed sometime in tune with the administration. They do not want to displease the administration, many of them, some of them rather, not every one of them. So ठीक है, it happens. और कुछ है? What is the time now?
Sir, 4:50.
I think the section 11 will take it tomorrow. Tomorrow evening, I don't mind taking 6
Okay,
o'clock.
sir.
Are you okay
Okay,
with
sir,
you?
no problem.
Yeah,
Okay,
6
tomorrow,
o'clock
because,
tomorrow, sir. Sir, one question, sir.
Yes.
Sir, why are we using 17th century language even for drafting today? Hereby witnessed and all that fancy jargon that nobody uses in the modern times.
You can come and change it as a solicitor or a lawyer. No problem. That is, we are following the old English precedents. We are following it up. क्या करें?
But in England, they have brushed it up and made it a little more modern. So
More
why
modern age. We also have to learn. We must follow them.
We need to file PIL.
Many of our statutes are, based on English model laws, and many of them are redundant provision. Constitution में कितने provisions are redundant? They are no longer in use, but still there, and we are not amending. Fortunately, CPC, CRPC now recently amended substantially. We are covered, and still sedition के लिए उनको कहते हैं कि निकाल के फेंको. It is not. It is a old English concept, not there. It's unfortunate.
But sedition, if they take out, then how will they take action?
They cannot take it here, but they can modify it. They can modify it. They are covered in other provisions of the Act. So section 10 is clear to you, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
You're clear
Yes,
with
sir.
all the, because of course, if you read the Bare Act 4 lines, you won't understand. With the help of the judgment, remember that here, the doctrine of agency come into play, and the statements, the no sooner the conspiracy ends, statement cannot be used. And subsequent statement which are used after arrest, they will be coming under section 162. They can be used in other section.
So what is the rationale of not allowing the statements after the conspiracy ends?
Because a conspiracy is something which is hatched to do a particular act. वो act is completed. Act complete होने के बाद there is no use in going for subsequent recording unless it is material. Now, in the case of that, the first judgment of the 1957, where the Sonar was arrested along with Mr. Badri, he wanted to pay the police officer to hush up the case. So the talks took place outside the road, outside the police station. When the police officer going was in motorbike, the Sonar stops him. Sir, I want to compromise with you, hush up the case, I'll pay you money. He told him, I don't want to discuss all this matter on the road. You please come to police station. So the gentleman Sonar, instead of going himself, he sends his friend Badri and sends with a packet as a gift to the police officer. And the gentleman tells him, narrates him, I have brought this packet as per the instruction of the Sonar, and you had agreed to close his case. And he makes a statement in the presence of so many police officers. Naturally, the officer is embarrassed. There is an embarrassment. Even if he is a honest officer or a dishonest officer, he will be embarrassed. He will think 3-4 times to accept the packet, because he will come into the eyes of his colleague. So he did the right thing by immediately preparing the first information, getting him arrested under section 165A, which was then prevailing, attempting to bribing the police officer, bribing a public servant. And also invoke section 120B, because these are 2 persons involved. So he is bribing him. What is the object behind? For hushing up the case of Mr. Sonar. So the Supreme Court records that here, yes, these statements which he made to the police officer outside the record, and whatever statements between the Sonar and Mr. Badri before he goes to police station, they were not known to us, to anybody else. That these are secretive. This crime is committed in secrecy. So ultimately, the moment a packet is handed over, it's a continuation of the act. It's a continuation of the act which is accomplished. So conspiracy ends here the moment you hand over the packet. So thereafter, whatever arrest ho gaya, then after arrest, whatever he says, that will be statement coming under 162 CRPC, and they cannot be used as a statement or a statement under section 10 of the Evidence Act. That is the purpose. Okay. Hopefully, all of you understood
Okay.
this section.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you
Okay.
so much. sir.
Thank you, everybody. Have a
Thank you
nice.
so much, sir.
So
Good night.
tomorrow evening we will
Yes,
try to
sir.
take section 11. I will, because I got a one orientation lecture to be given for Karnataka College of Law at Chembur at 11 o'clock. I shall wind it up again. They are inviting me Saturday for a moot court competition. Saturday. Tomorrow is Friday, no?
Yes,
So in
sir.
the morning session, evening I can take one lecture. I'll let you know. Huh?
Okay,
I
sir.
will let you
Evening
know.
by
I will.
regular 6:30.
Yeah, around 6:30 we'll take tomorrow. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Thank
Okay.
you,
Okay.
sir.
Thank
Okay,
you.
bye.
Bye
Good
bye.
night.
Thank
All
you.
Thank
the
you,
best.
sir.
Good night.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.